So I'm in the law library, and my homeboy Rondo, he like, hey Dante, man, you got a new celly, bro. I'm like, what? He like, yeah, you got a new celly. So I get up and I hurry up and get up out of there, right? Because when you got a new celly, first of all, you gotta know who's coming in your cell. I don't know if this a gang member. I don't know if this a dude that got bad charges. I don't know if this a gorilla coming up in here. I don't know if it's a booty bandit coming up in here. I don't know. I don't know if it's a thief coming up in here. All I know is I need to get to my cell immediately, right? So I hurry up and close my book up, put it on the shelf, and I dart up out of there, right? I get to the unit. Now, my cell is on the second tier, right? So I get up there in the unit, I bail upstairs, and I get to my cell. When I get to my cell, I'm looking for the guy. I don't see it. I see that he got his bags over here, right? But I don't see him. So I'm scratching my head because that's not normal for a guy that just came, in the cell to be not there, like in this first initial state. So I'm standing at the cell, like, where this dude at? And then I see him. I see him. He comes from the other side of the bunk bed, right? Now you said, hold on, Dante. What you mean you just now seeing him? So the guy that I'm locked up with, his name is Mighty Mouse. This dude from Detroit, Michigan. East side, off of Hamburg and Gratiot. Now, this dude is about 5'2", 5'3" on a good day. And he's really, really short. I don't know if you can call him a dwarf. I don't know if you call him a leprechaun. I don't know if you call him a little person, a wee person. I don't know what to call him. But I just know this dude is really short, right? So I'm like, hey, what's up, man? He like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? I said, so you up in here? He like, yeah. I said, what's your name? He was like, man, they call me M. I said, M? He was like, yeah, my name Michael, but, just call me Mighty Mouse. So in my head, I'm thinking like Mighty Mouse, right? Now, I ain't gonna lie. This dude was jacked up. Now, I ain't talking about yeah, mentally also, but that's later on for the story. But this dude was like built, like this dude was like muscle bound, like he had his arms, his triceps, his biceps, his legs, his chest. Dude was like a little, I don't know, like a little action figure hero. I don't know, like a toy action figure or something, like the Punisher or something. But anyway, I'm looking at him, and let me tell y'all something. I don't care what nobody say. Size does matter in prison, especially on your initial outlook with somebody coming in. And here's the example. So if you got a guy that come in there, maybe 5'8", 5'7", 5'6", skinny, look real timid, you're going to get extorted, beat up, and possibly get your manhood taken away from you if other dudes don't intervene. But that's usually your fate. Now, if you come in there, skinny and, short, whatever, go in there with your head held high. Don't be looking at the ground. Don't be looking all nervous. And I get it. It is prison, and people first time going to prison, it can be intimidating, right? But you just have to have some type of oomph about you, because there's a lot of guys just watching, and they looking, and they trying to find any reason to do something to you, right? But anyway, so I'm like, okay, what's up? So he was like, shoot, what's your name? I said, man, they call me D. He was like, oh, okay. He was like, you from Detroit? I said, no, not really. I was born in Detroit, but on the real, I'm actually from everywhere. He was like, okay, respect. So I said, so what you in here for? He was like, man, you gonna laugh. I'm like, enlighten me. So now I'm in the cell and I'm sitting on my bunk, right? He was like, man, I end up unaliving a dog. I said, what? He was like, man, let me tell you what happened. I'm like, all right, because now I'm intrigued. I want to hear why this little man unalived the dog, right? So he was like, he used to work for a pool service in Detroit, but like in the rich area. So, these rich white clients would contact him to like do their pool or whatever. So he said one day this lady had like this very nice show dog poodle, rich lady, right? But she would never keep the dog locked up, or maybe the dog could break loose and try to do something to him. So he said this would happen like 5 times. Now he said that because the money was so good, he just dealt with it. But the dog would break out and it'd be a standoff where the dog could be barking at him. Now, keep in mind, y'all, this dude ain't nothing but a good 5'4", 5'5". He's a really little guy, whatever, but he's strong. And this poodle is like probably at his neck, when it's standing up, big furry thing. So he said the last time it happened, he said he was cleaning the pool and he didn't even know that the dog got up on him. He said when he turned around, the dog just launched at him like, ugh, right? Pushed him in the pool. So he said when he fell in the pool, the dog was like, they're showing his teeth, like just going nuts, right? Trying to get at him. So he said like for about 5 minutes, he was yelling like, help me, help. Hey, come get your dog. Nobody came, right? So he said, like, he just sat in the pool and he like, man, this dang dog. I mean, y'all got to peep the whole scene. Imagine trying to climb out the pool and this dog is steady meeting you on the edge and trying to bite you. So he said, like, and keep in mind, y'all, this dude is short. He's 5'4", 5'5", so he's barely staying afloat. So he have to stay in the 3-foot end, right? So he said he out there for about 5 minutes just yelling for help. Help me. Come, somebody come get this dog. Please come get this dog, right? Nobody comes. So he said he was sitting there and he was like, man, F this, man. This the 6th time that this done happened. This the 6th time that they don't let this dog out or got loose. They know I was coming today, but they gonna let this dog out? All right, bet. So he said that he got over there about 4 feet. And when the dog got right there, he acted like he was about to get out. He grabbed the dog by his fur, by his face, like right here, and grabbed his ass in the pool. He said when he grabbed the dog in the pool, well, due to YouTube laws and regulations, I can't go in descriptive detail, but let's just put it this way. You know that saying, all dogs go to heaven? Well, man, that's what he did. He sent the dog to heaven, or maybe the dog went to hell. I don't know. But anyway, he said he did that, and he said it was a struggle for a good 2 minutes, and well, the dog stopped struggling. So he said after that, he just got up, got out the pool, and left the dog there, and left. He said about 3 hours to go by, and his phone was just blowing up. First, it was the customer of who house that he did this to. And then he said like random numbers started calling. And so he said he finally picked up the phone. And the woman of the house was like, why the fuck you do that to my dog? Why you do that to my dog? He like, what? She like, why the fuck did we got you on camera. Why did you do that to my dog? He was like, well, if you seen it on camera, you seen what your dog was doing to me. The dog wouldn't let me out the damn pool, right? So she was like, oh, you going to jail. You going to jail. So then a guy got on the phone. I guess it was a detective that got on the phone. Was like, hey, listen, man, where you at? We can either come pick you up for questioning, or you just come down here and you need to answer some questions. He like, listen, man, y'all got the video. What do I need to talk about? Y'all see what happened. I couldn't get out the dang pool. Y'all see me yelling and screaming for 5 minutes for somebody to come get this damn dog. So I did what I had to do. So the detective was like, well, listen, can you just come down here and give an official statement? So he was like, all right, man, whatever. So he said he called his mama and was like, hey, ma, look, I got to go downtown. I did something to a dog, whatever. He explained to his mom the situation. He was like, okay, I'm finna go downtown because they want me to give a statement. So he said he go downtown, right? He get into the interrogation room. They going over the story, and they like stand up, put your hands behind your back. He was like, what? For what? They're like, well, you unalive the dog. And he's like, no, man, hell no, man. Y'all seen the tape, man. What you mean? Long story short, y'all, they get this dude 4 years. 4 years in state prison for unaliving the dog, even though they got the video footage of what happened. But this is what happened when you have money. You're like, huh? Yeah, the woman that the poodle owner had a lot of money and a lot of connections. A lot of money gets you a lot of connections, and she wanted justice. Even though she was in the wrong, even though her dog was in the wrong, this woman wanted justice. And well, she got it. Gave homeboy 4 years, right? In a penitentiary. So anyway, quick note, y'all. If you haven't hit the like button already, hit that like button for me and hype the video. If you are not subscribed to my Patreon, make sure you subscribe to my Patreon. I'm gonna have that link pinned at the top of the comment section. Okay, all the exclusive videos that I can't put on YouTube, such as my other prison stories that YouTube won't allow me to put on here, they over there. My Bible stories over there, my short horror films over there, the Lamarck Moore saga over there, my Bible stories, my supernatural stories, all that content is on my Patreon. Y'all make sure y'all go check it out. That link will be pinned at the top of the comment section. All right, let's get back to the story. So I'm like, damn, they gave you 4 years. He was like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, welcome to prison. I said, how long you been down? He was like, man, I've been down for about a year now. I said, oh, okay, all right, bet. So I'm like, well, hey, you got the top rack, man. He was like, hey, look, I get it, you know, but can I get the bottom rack? I'm like, for what? He was like, man, look at me, man. Look at me, bro, man. I'm short. I'm like, all right, you got it. You got it. So I said, all right, you got it. So I get my stuff and I put it on the top rack or whatever. And I leave out because now it's dinner time. I'm hungry. I'm hungry than a mug, right? So this was Burger and Fry Day. So I'm like, all right, man, I'll holler at you, man. He's like, all right. Now, as I'm leaving out, my homeboy Al, he walk up on me. He like, so what's up with your new celly? I'm like, he seemed cool, man. He seemed down to earth. He don't seem like he gonna be no issue. He like, oh, okay, because he got allegations on him. I said, what? He was like, yeah, homeboy got allegations on him. I said, what type of allegations? Now, at this time, y'all, we in the corridor heading to the cafeteria or the chow hall, or whatever you want to call it, the lunchroom, right? So we in line. I said, what you mean he got allegations? He was like, man, dude is like, you know, you know why he got moved to our dorm? I said, no, I didn't even ask. He was like, hey, man, they said that he was, you know, trying to F on a punk and got caught. I said, what? He was like, yeah, the allegations is that, you know, they had to move him because he kept pressing on a punk. And I guess he tried to violate a punk in the shower or whatever. And, well, they moved his ass. I said, man, where you hear that from? He was like, man, come on, Dante. You know how the grapevine is. You know how these niggas be in here gossiping. I said, yeah. So we sit down, right? And he comes in, right? Mighty Mouse, my new cellmate, comes in. So he get his tray or whatever. And he come to, now remember, y'all, he come from a different dorm. So he, in this prison, is divided by like 6 wings, basically. So there's 3 cafeterias. So if a lot of times you would probably never see somebody unless you going out your way to see them if they in another dorm or something, and they got 5 yards, right? So he's new in here. Don't nobody really know this dude up in here, but he sees me and he zero in. So he comes to my table. Now there's an open seat right next to me. So he comes in and he sit next to me. So I'm like, hey y'all, this is my new celly, man. This Mighty Mouse, whatever. They like, what up, and all this and that, whatever. So he eating his food, right? So now I don't know if y'all know Al Tipperman. Al was kind of like a jokester, right? So Al was like, "Hey man, Dante, how you feel about sissies up in here?" I'm like, "What you mean?" Now I know what Al doing. I know exactly what Al doing. He's trying to get a reaction out of Mighty Mouse. Now Mighty Mouse is just eating his food, and I'm like, "Well, I mean, I don't know. Should they do them? And as long as they stay out my way, we good." And he was like, "But how would you feel if a so-called straight dude was like messing with a sissy on the low?" I was like, "Shit, I don't nothing. It ain't none of my business. Why?" I know what he's doing, y'all. He trying to get a reaction out of Mighty Mouse, but Mighty Mouse ain't saying nothing. In fact, he ain't stunting at all. He just eat this food and just, I don't know. So I guess as Al noticing this, Al like bag off or whatever. So Mighty Mouse get done with his food and he like, "All right, D, I'm gonna catch you later," and just walk out. So when he leave out, I'm like, "Al, are you sure? Are you positive that this dude, like, because he didn't seem bothered." He was like, "Yeah, that is kind of weird, man. This dude had like a whole poker face on, like he didn't even flinch." I said, "Are you sure?" He was like, "Yeah, man, this what niggas was telling me." Now, let me tell y'all something. Just because it's out there, just because a guy got allegations on him, that doesn't mean it's true. Okay. Dudes gossip, dudes hate, dudes lie all the time in prison. So it could have just been somebody just want to joke on him and just put that on him, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna leave it alone. This is where this story takes a dangerous turn. This is where this story gets, how can I say, we about to enter the terror dome. So now I'm on the yard and I'm working out, right? I'm over there on the weight pile, throwing up 450, right? And Al spotting me. So Al like, "Hey, look, 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 look." So he grabbed a bar and I like sit up off the bench and he pointing towards Mighty Mouse. Now Mighty Mouse is talking to this homosexual named Peanut. And I'm looking like, okay. And he was like, look at him, look at him. And they just walk in the yard. Mighty Mouse and Peanut just walk in the yard, right? So I'm like, maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. So I tell Al, like, I'm gonna holler at him later on. I'm gonna get at him later on and ask him what's that all about. Because if he did get sent to my unit and in my cell because he got these allegations on him, nah, ain't no way he can be in my cell. Ain't no way. And now that I see him actually out here, because before this, it was just rumors. But now I actually see him out here walking the yard with Peanut. So I'm real suspicious of this. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna holler at him later. All right, I'm gonna holler at him when we get in the cell. So I get back working out, whatever. Now, as y'all know, after I get done working out, I gotta go hit the prison shower. I got to. So I go to my cell. I get my soap. I get my washcloth, my dry off cloth, and I head down there with my shower shoes on. When I get in there, right, there's nobody in here. Now keep in mind, y'all, this is a community shower. Community shower. Now, quick side note. When I first got locked up, I would shower in my boxers. Okay. Because it was just really weird, going in a shower with 20 different dudes and y'all and everybody butt ass naked. Now, newcomers, when they come in, everybody come in like that, shower in their boxers. But when you become a convict, you ain't really tripping about that no more. So at this time, Dante is a convict. So I'm in there naked, right? Now I'm washing up. Now I got shampoo on my head, right? And if shampoo get in your eyes gonna be burning like a mug. Now, since I don't hear nobody and nobody was in there, everything was good, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe I could be in here for a good 2-3 minutes, all right? Got some privacy. So I'm washing up or whatever. I hear some noise. Like, so let me give y'all the setup of how this prison shower is, or the prison bathroom. Once you come from the day room, right? You go in this small corridor, maybe 3 feet. Now to the left is the bathroom where the toilet at, right? Where the toilets is at. But if you go through this corridor and go to the right, that's where the prison shower's at. Now I heard like some noise. Keep in mind, y'all, I'm in the shower, so everything kind of echoes from the hallway, from that corridor. So I hear some noise, but it sounds like, you know, whoever this noise coming from is coming from that bathroom over there, right? So I ain't really tripping. So now, you know, I'm trying to get like this. I got shampoo in my hair, and my ears is kind of like clogged a little bit with the water, so I can't. Everything's kind of muffled right now. So I did not know that Peanut and Mighty Mouse is in here. They not in here with me per se, because I'm right here dead smack up in here, right? They are like right behind the corner. Like if they walk up and then go to the left, now they in the shower, right? But they in this corridor right here. And now I hear like muffled noise. So I'm instantly, my anxiety is rising because I don't know who this is. I hear somebody, but I don't hear them. I just know they coming this way. So I hear you, but keep trying to get the soap out my eyes or whatever. And it get louder and louder. And I hear, stop, stop, stop. Don't do that. You tripping. So I hear the voice and I know it's Peanut, right? And then I hear the other voice like, man, come on, man, come on, man, let's go. Come on, hurry up. And it's Mighty Mouse. It's Mighty Mouse. So now I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, like, this motherfucker, right? This motherfucker. So I'm like, this motherfucker really did that. This dude trying to, so I'm trying to hurry up and get this soap off my damn face, the shampoo, right? So I just yell out. I say, hey, man, who is that? Who is that? Right? And then I hear footsteps run off. So I'm like, I bet. So I hurry up and get the water and shampoo off me, right? And I'm mad. I'm upset. So I dry off, put my towel on, and I'm leaving out. I go upstairs. Mighty Mouse is sitting on the desk talking to Gay Peanut. They are in my cell. He has Peanut in my cell, and they talking. I seen red, y'all. I seen red. I said, "Hey, Peanut, you gotta go." Mighty Mouse was like, "Oh, okay. I'll see you later. I'll see you later, Peanut." Peanut leave out. I go in the cell. I put the white sheet up. I said, "Hey, why the fuck you had that motherfucker in my cell?" He was like, "What you talking about?" I said, "Why the fuck would you have that motherfucker in my cell?" He was like, "Is this my cell too, bro? This my cell too. I can't have company." I said, "Listen, I heard what you did. I heard why you got sent over here." He was like, What you mean?" I said, "I heard what you did and how you got sent over and why you over here. And I ain't going for that. Pack all your shit and get out this cell." He was like, "Man, I ain't going nowhere, man. I ain't going nowhere." I said, "What?" He was like, "I ain't going nowhere." Now, when he said that, I just got instantly mad. I was already angry, but now I'm mad to the point that I just snapped. And before I know it, I got on him, pause. So I just launched at him, right? Grabbed him by his neck, picked him up off the desk by his neck, and I choke slammed him to the floor. And when I did that, it's like he grabbed my towel. Now I'm naked. So now I'm just like standing over him, butt naked. Boom, boom, boom. Right? He boiling up like, hey, man, stop, man. Stop. I'm hitting him. Boom, boom. Hitting him to the left. Boom. Hitting him to the right. Pow. Right? Now he's kicking at this point. He's kicking. I'm like, motherfucker, kick me again. Because he trying to kick me, in my shotgun, right? So he like, man, stop. I said, kick me again. I'm like, bow, bow. I'm giving it to him. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Get the fuck out the cell. You gonna get out? Yeah, man, I'm gonna get out. Boom, boom. Hit him again, right? So then I stand up. I'm like, get the fuck out the cell. Get out the cell. Now remember, y'all, I'm standing here butt ass naked, right? So he like, all right. Let me tell y'all something. Never turn your back in a fight. I don't care how small a guy is, how weak you think a guy is. I don't care if you think that even if you just whoop this dude out, never turn your back in the fight. And this is what Donta did. I turned my back for maybe 3 seconds, right, to grab my towel. When I turned my back and I bent over to grab the towel, he jumped on my back. On my back, and he tried to rear naked choke me out, right? So just imagine me butt naked in the cell and this midget on my back trying to choke me out. So I'm ramming him against the damn bars. I'm ramming him against the desk or whatever. And finally, I ram him against the bunk. Now, these metal bunks, when I did that, boom, I guess I hit him across his back or whatever. And he was like, ow, ow. And he let go, right? So I grabbed him by his neck again to choke him out, right? And he just grabbing at my arms or whatever, like, let me go, man, let me go. So I said, you gonna get out? He's like, let me go. So I didn't realize how much pressure I was putting on him when I was choking him out. And I actually choked him out. He went unconscious, right? So he laying there. So I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, I hope I didn't just kill this dude. So now I check his pulse, whatever. He's still breathing, whatever. So I hurry up, put my drawers on, put my pants on, my shirt or whatever. And I just picked him up and put him in his bed, right? And I walked out. So I go hit the yard. I'm out there doing my thing. Let the homies know, like, what just happened, whatever. And Al, like, I told you, man. I told you he was like that. I told you. I said, yeah, you was right. Yeah, right. Sure enough, you see the captain and 2 guards beelining straight over there where I'm at. Donta, cuff up. I already know what time it is, right? So I cuff up as we walking. They like, yeah, you know you're going to the hole, right? I said, yeah, I know.